Mr. Venice?
Yes, Your Honor, the secretary called Mr. Iago to the stand.
Proceed, Mr. Iago. You understand that you are still under oath from your previous testimony?
Yes, I do.
And that oath requires you to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Please proceed, Madam Prosecutor.
Yes. Please state and spell your name for the record.
My name is Iago. I-A-G-O.
Could you please briefly describe to the court why you're here today?
I'm here because my general, whom I thought of as my best friend, killed his wife.
All right, and could you please describe briefly the deal that you made with the state to testify here today?
I made a plea deal that would lessen my sentence and would force the admittance of partial guilt.
Thank you. Now, how did you know the defendant?
The general was my general. General Othello led me into battle multiple times. Multiple times.
And could you just please briefly describe your relationship with Othello?
I thought we were close friends. He had always had my back. I had his. We had fought with each other countless times, and I had saved his life just as he had saved mine.
All right, thank you. Now, did you know his wife, Desdemona, at all?
I know a little bit about her. I've seen her around. I saw her in the background often, but I didn't know her personally very well, no.
All right, now what about a man by the name of Michael Cassio?
Yes, he was my lieutenant. He was also one of my superiors, and he had been recently appointed.
And could you just, what was your general opinion of Michael Cassio?
He's a drunk.
All right, now, I'd like to direct your attention to asking if you'd ever witnessed anything between Michael Cassio and Desdemona.
Michael Cassio and Desdemona. Yeah, I think so. I think there was a lot of things going on there. There was some touching that I saw that I didn't think was appropriate. There was some conduct that did not befit a man of his rank.
Yes, of course, yeah. Now, did you ever inform your General Othello of what you witnessed?
I did.
And could you please describe how he reacted to this?
Well, he wasn't happy. He was constantly telling me that he didn't believe it. But I didn't believe him because slowly I noticed him change.
And can you recall any specific instance that really led you to believe he had changed his mind?
Yes. Well, it was when he told me he was going to murder.
All right. Now, I'd like to just backtrack and talk about what led up to that statement, if that's all right with you.
Sure.
Now, what were you talking to Othello about prior to him telling you this?
Othello and I were talking about Michael Cassio's inappropriate conduct towards Desdemona, and how I didn't think it was appropriate.
All right, and so after discussing this, what happened to Michael Cassio come in?
He came in later on, and I decided to conduct a little experiment with my general.
And could you just please go into a little bit more detail as to what this experiment was?
Of course I can. The experiment was I was going to question him about women, see what his responses were, and let Othello make the final decision.
And now, to your knowledge, where was Othello when this conversation was happening?
He was close by. I believe he was behind a pillar. Something like that.
And now, to your knowledge, did Othello overhear this conversation?
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah, he did.
Sir, that's inappropriate conduct in the schoolroom. I think you to do your best to be a professional and observe the decorum of everyone else does.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
So now, after Cassio left, what did Othello come say to you?
Othello told me at length that he wanted to do a lot of vicious things to Desdemona.
Could you recall specifically what any of those things were?
Yeah, again. He wanted to poison her. He wanted to chop her into little pieces.
Yes, so now, what was your response to this?
He was my best friend and my general. I responded in any way a good soldier would. I told him that if he was going to undertake in this course of action, then he should instead just strangle her, quiet, painless. That's what I told him.
All right, thank you. Now, I'd just like to go into a bit more detail on Othello's demeanor at the time. Did he seem out of character to you at all?
Yes, absolutely. He was angry. And this look in his eye, he looked as if he was about to attack me. You know, and I'd seen it before, obviously. I've seen it on the battlefield multiple times. He looked exactly like that whenever he was going to kill somebody on the opposite side. Same thing.
All right, but just to clarify, did he seem to be, say, possessed by any sort of outer being?
No.
All right, thank you. Now, did Othello happen to mention anything about Michael Cassio at all?
Yes, he did.
And what was that?
Well, he told me to murder Michael Cassio.
All right, and just to clarify one more time, did he appear to be, say, possessed by any sort of outer being when he said this?
Sure did.
All right, so now just to move along a little bit, did you witness Othello and Desdemona together at all throughout the rest of that day?
I did.
And could you describe that interaction?
Yeah. He was a real asshole. He hit her. He spoke.
Objection, Your Honor. The prosecution is using a single instance to try to paint the defendant with habit and action informative with.
Your Honor, if I may,
Absolutely.
we're not offering this act to show conformity in any way. We're not attempting to establish it as a habit. It simply goes to the defendant's general treatment of his wife.
Again, as she said, she was going for the general treatment with one instance.
If I may.
Go ahead.
It's not being used to show conformity that because he's hit her in the past that he will be hitting her in the future. However, it could go to show such as a lack of accident under Rule 401.
Woo! She knows some stuff. Good.
We're going to overrule the objection for now.
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, could you have any big question? So what did you witness occur between Othello and Desdemona?
I saw Othello hit his wife, and Othello speak to her as if she was his whore.
Can you recall anything specific that he said? find out her name at all this time.
No, he did not.
All right, thank you. No further questions.
Cross, Your Honor.
How you doing, bud?
I'm doing pretty good. Can I ask your general opinion of Othello?
I did love him once. And then he told me to do something for him. Told me it was in my best interest. I did it for him, and now I'm finding out that in fact it was the opposite of what was in my best interest. So I'm not doing too good right now.
Now, you mentioned that his wife, Desmond, you'd only observed her from afar. What was your opinion of her?
Objection. Improper characterization of the victim.
Repeat question.
I'm simply asking what his opinion of Desmond was.
There he goes again. Look at the
Yeah.
circus act.
Yeah.
Mr. Yager, please take a step. Well, good, Mr. Defense Attorney. Would you like your water back?
Your Honor, if I may, seeing as the recording did not stop, I refuse to assume that that is on the record.
We can amend that at the close of the trial. I'm not sure how the court reporter is planning on typing up that.
Can we proceed?
Mr. Defense Attorney, as your client recovered from his episode?
I believe so. We can remove from the court.
Okay, if it seems that any future episodes are about to occur, I would appreciate it if the defense attorney, if the defense team would let us know. We'll take a break and allow you to remove him from the court. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Yago, if you resume your position and stand, please. Please proceed with the question.
I was asking you what your opinion of Desmond was.
Desdemona.
Yes, Your Honor. I objected to that question. That's an improper characterization of the victim.
We don't know what she's going to say.
Since this is a bench trial, we want to allow it, and the court will use its own discretion in considering his evidence.
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead, Mr. Yago.
Thank you. Desdemona is a beautiful woman. She's objectively beautiful. There you go.
Thank you. How did you discover that Othello and Desmond had lived?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
How did you come to discover that Othello and Desmond had lived?
Oh. He told me.
And after he told you, who all did you notify?
I don't know that I notified anyone.
So it's your testimony that no one else came to this knowledge through you?
Other people may have found out.
But it's your testimony that it was not through you. said that mentioned that Cassio and Othello both were your commanding officers, or the position of officer. What do you think differentiated you between them?
Well, I think it was different in each case. I think for Othello, I think everyone loved the fact that he was different. Just loved him. And then for Michael Cassio, it helps to come from a high birth. I'll tell you that much.
On your time on Cyprus, you spent a good time with Othello, is this correct?
I'm sorry?
On your time at Cyprus, you spent a good time with Othello, correct?
Yes.
Have you ever witnessed him have an episode like the one we recently all just observed?
Yes, I've seen him seize. I've seen him do it a lot. And not just on Cyprus. He's done it many times previous as well. It's just something he does.
Thank you. Now I'd like to talk about how your day went the night that Desmond died. I should like to start at dinner. You had dinner with Desmond, correct?
I did, yes.
And this was the last time you saw her, right?
Alive?
Thank you. Was it after this that you had the conversation with Othello where you commented on things like poison?
I'm sorry, repeat the question.
The conversation you discussed during direct, where Othello discussed things as poison, was it after dinner that you had this conversation with him or before dinner?
I believe it was before dinner?
Before dinner? Was Othello present at dinner?
Yes, he was there.
Thank you. Now, during your deposition, you commented that you know a lot about poison, correct?
I know a fair amount, yes.
Do you know of varying poisons that can cause different symptoms, a wide range of symptoms with different poisons?
Yes.
Thank you. Now, it was after dinner that you went to fulfill Othello's request of killing Cassio, correct?
Correct.
It's actually Rodrigo confronted Cassio. Did you have a part of this?
Yes, I had a part to play in the killing of Michael Cassio.
Cassio's not dead. It was Rodrigo that's dead.
I made a mistake.
How do you know how Rodrigo died?
Yes.
How did Rodrigo die?
He died by my sword.
Objection, Your Honor, more prejudicial than evident. If I may be heard.
Yeah, sure.
The alleged murder of Rodrigo has no bearing on the case of Othello for the murder of Desdemona. He is not being charged with the murder of Desdemona, and unless the defense is attempting to claim that he did in fact harm Desdemona, his interactions with Rodrigo are more prejudicial in this case.
Your Honor. I'm going to proffer outside of the court.
Sure, go ahead. reading the objection sustained.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Iago, during your deposition, you reacted and mentioned that this was the first time during the deposition that you've heard of Rodrigo's death.
Objection, Your Honor. That's hearsay. This witness's out-of-court statement.
Repeat the question.
I'm asking him about a statement he made during the deposition, which is a statement made under oath. Again, during your deposition, when the death of Rodrigo was brought up, you reacted and commented this is the first time you heard it, correct?
Yes.
But in fact, we have heard and just stated that Rodrigo died by your sword, correct?
Yes.
Thank you. It's after this event that you heard commotion coming from Othello and Desmond, correct?
Correct.
And you, along with several others, ran to investigate, correct?
Right again.
And when you arrived in this room, you found Othello, Amelia, and the dead body of Desmond, correct?
Correct.
Can you clarify for the court who Amelia is?
Amelia is my wife.
Now, it was at this point that you and Amelia began to argue, correct?
That's right.
She mentioned a handkerchief which seemed to upset you, correct?
Say it again.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
Some effect on the listener. You mentioned about the handkerchief and caused a reaction to it.
If I may be heard.
Please.
How would the effect on Iago be probative towards the practice of this case?
May I progress on the hearing, correct?
Well, you can go ahead and give an argument.
Well, it is the defense's argument that Iago was actually the one that had the part in Desmond's death, and it was through the handkerchief that he was able to administer a poison. So him being able
Excuse me,
to,
Mr. Yager. Show you something.
him reacting to the discussion of the handkerchief and such will inform the courtroom on not only his knowledge of it, but his interaction.
This is your fault. This is your fault. You did this.
Your
Good to see
Honor,
you, Mr.
the state would
Yager.
like to request a brief 5-minute recess.
Let's take a brief 45-second recess.
He's still under oath. You can't talk.
Mr. Yager, maintain your seat in the chair, please.
Absolutely.
Proceed.
Well, the defense is ready, Your Honor.
Okay, let's go back to the record. During the recess, the judges conferred, and we believe that the testimony that you are proffering does not go to the truth of the matter asserted, and so we want to let it in over the objection. Hearsay, relevance is a closer issue, but we're going to, again, since this is a bench trial, the concern of prejudicing the jury is not present, so we're going to let it in for what it's worth, and see where we go from there. But watch your relevance.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
So, Amelia mentioned a handkerchief in this objection, correct?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance.
Overruled.
Your Honor. Again, when Amelia mentioned a handkerchief, this upset you, correct?
It wasn't the handkerchief that upset me. It was her being upset.
Alright, but anyway, you were upset, and this escalated to the point where you stabbed and killed her, correct?
Listen, my friend. I'm a soldier. I am trained to kill people for a living. Okay? So what that means is that I have instincts. And these instincts kick in when I'm threatened. I didn't want to kill my wife. You bringing it up doesn't help anything. I didn't want to kill her. I was reacting on instinct.
On deposition, you commented that you had actually killed her because you saw her become possessed. But on direct...
Because he told me to!
Can anybody witness to Othello telling you to kill her?
No.
But, again, during your deposition, you commented on possession, and your direct, you said you had no such belief. Which one is it?
I don't believe in possessions.
Have you recently converted faith in between your deposition and this trial?
You're a real smart ass. No, I haven't.
Mr. Iago, contempt of court is something that I can wield and will. Please restrain yourself. After you murdered Amelia, you were taken into custody. And so at this point, you swore never to speak again. However, you are now speaking at trial today. Why is this?
Because the world needs to know what kind of man he is.
During deposition, you stated that you thought the story would be told the right way, correct?
That's right.
Thank you, Your Honor, for the question.
Reader up.
Yes, Your Honor. All right, now I'd like to draw your attention to the handkerchief that opposing counsel brought on cross-examination. Do you know exactly which handkerchief is referring to?
Yes.
And had you seen that handkerchief before?
Yeah, I had seen it before.
All right, now I'd like to direct you back to that conversation you had with Cassio prior to Othello's expression of wanting to murder his wife. Who was the last person you saw with that handkerchief in their hand?
The last person I saw with that in their hand was Cassio.
All right, thank you. And now, when you entered that bedroom and saw Othello, and Amelia, and Desdemona there, was Desdemona alive?
Nope.
So just to clarify, was Desdemona already dead by the time you arrived in that bedroom?
Yes, she was.
And Iago, do you have any reason to want to harm Desdemona?
None whatsoever.
However, I would like to talk a little bit more about what happened with your wife. You just mentioned on cross-examination that because of your position as a soldier, it's your instinct to kill in a threatening situation. Is that right?
Yes.
Now, who was your general in the army?
Othello.
So who trained that instinct into you?
Othello.
Thank you. No further questions.
Objection, Your Honor. Improper foundation laid. Just because Othello was his general does not mean he was the person who trained him in the battle. Boot camp and leadership are very different things.
Can I make it heard?
Yeah.
Thank you. No further questions.
Recross.
No request.
Okay. Next witness from the state.
Prosecution would like to call expert witness Father Paul Stern.
Mr. Prosecutor, has the father been deposed?
He's not.
Father Paul Stern, do you understand that you are swearing to tell the truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Please proceed.
Please state your name, spell your last for the record.
Paul Stern, S-T-E-R-N-E.
Can you describe for us why you're here today?
I've been called by the state to testify on demonic possession.
Can you tell us why you're qualified to speak on that?
This training that I received is in seminary.
So to be clear, understanding possessions was an integral part of your training.
Yes.
Can you describe your theological background?
I studied at St. Joseph Theater in Berkeley, California,
And where were you ordained?
in Columbia.
And what capacity are you serving now?
I'm chaplain at the Theodorus Anglican Chapel.
Father Stern, what knowledge do you have in regard to this?
Primarily, the person who's possessed has to invite the possession into themselves. One is not just arbitrarily possessed against one's will.
So just to clarify, an individual can only be possessed if he or she is willing to invite the demon or entity into his or her body or mind. What if any interaction occurs between the possessing entity and the possessed when one is possessed?
Can you ask the question again?
What if any interaction occurs between someone who is being possessed and the possessing entity at the time of possession?
Well, the possessed person is still present, but they've given over their will to the demon, so but they willingly submitted to this demon. So the demon is in charge, but the person is still there present.
You say given over their will. Is that an actual exchange? Is there an
Yes.
understanding?
The demon typically would promise earthly fame, riches, something like that, in exchange for the person's soul.
So in your expert opinion, is an individual still culpable for the acts he or she commits while under possession?
Yes.
Now, were you present for the episode that occurred earlier with the defendant?
Yes.
Would you say, in your expertise, that showed any signs of an actual possession?
In my expert opinion, I would probably say he was faking it. It was a little too convenient at the time.
Your Honors, we'd like to present a video of the defendant's deposition for Father Stern review.
Objection, Your Honor. What we're about to see is a video of the defendant having a seizure, and since we've already observed this and we're short on time, I ask that we just continue to move on with the direct.
Your Honor, before there's a ruling, I'd like to confer with co-counsel.
How long is the video?
2 minutes.
Your Honor, we have about 30 seconds left.
Because of the time constraints that are placed on us in this situation, let's go forward with
You can ask him if he's viewed it and then submit a copy to the tribunal later.
Father, in addition to the episode that occurred that you witnessed here today, have you also viewed the tape of the defendant's deposition?
Yes.
And you witnessed the episode that occurred there as well?
Yes.
And would you say that that could have been possession in your expert opinion?
That seems to be artificial as well.
Father Stern, in the case of possession, is a possessed individual irrevocably bound to the will of the possessing entity?
No.
So then, can the possessed individual assert his or her own will while being possessed?
Yes, he would have to ask God for release from the possession.
So, all one would have to do to be able to assert their own will over the will of the possessing entity or control of the possessing entity is to ask God sincerely for deliverance.
Yes.
If you want to seek God's deliverance through the counsel and assistance of a clergy,
That would be the normal route.
having viewed the deposition, are you aware that the defendant has claimed to have done so?
Yes.
What would cause a possessed individual's attempt to seek the counsel of the clergy to fail in releasing themselves from possession?
If one had a defect in their intention, if they weren't completely and truly turning themselves back over to God, then there would be a defect in their will, their intention.
No further questions.
I'm sure you meant to, but you're offering him as an expert witness. So.
before we do cross, are you going to challenge his qualifications as an expert witness?
Not at all, Your Honor.
Okay. Brief cross.
Can you please clarify for the court what denomination?
Anglican.
Are you aware of Othello's denomination?
Yes.
Can you please tell the court what is it?
Roman Catholic.
Are you aware of what area of the world Othello's from?
Venice.
Prior to that,
From Africa.
do you know which area?
Northern Africa.
So I can assume you've never visited the exact area that he's
Right.
from.
That's right.
Are you familiar with the history of possessions and their the way they've been viewed?
Yes.
Has it happened in the past that people have viewed mental disabilities or things that people have been harmed in physical or mental ways as possession?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor, for questions.
Rick Ross, or okay, sir, you can sit down. Thank you so much for coming. Is this the last witness of the day?
No, Your Honor, the state has one more witness.
For the witness. Can counsel approach briefly? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. We've done a good bit of work today. Thanks to both the prosecution and the defense for dispensing with these witnesses with some official significance. We've got one more witness for the prosecution, which we will take up on Wednesday. And then move directly into defense testimony. Defense attorneys, please advise your client of his Fifth Amendment rights prior to us beginning testimony on Wednesday, so that we can go ahead and speak with Mr. Othello during the break after we move for directed verdict about his ability to testify on his behalf. Okay, other than that, thank you all for being here today. We'll see you on Wednesday.